Yeah. Back to the future on a kick. I'ma make it hit. They saying just though. What I do? We gon' make it quick. Stepping on the moon, I'm moonwalking. Smooth talking. But my futuristic whip. Gotta go through the government just to have a kid. Do a backflip in 2045. I was born with an accent. Different technology. Peep the fashion, she like the Twilight Zone, Star Wars fabric. Time traveling, just to get to the action. I have a passion for futuristic magic. Hanging with the robots, look a little astro. Look at the coins.
Virtual cash flow.
I don't like spiders, my computer probably took a biter. It's been light outside for 24 hours into old shows like Empire and Power. This is future news, so the show you better watch it. Back to the future on the kicks, I'ma make it hit. They saying just though, what I do? We gon' make it quick. Stepping on the moon, I'm moonwalking. Smooth talking, with my futuristic whip. Yeah.
Hello, I'm your host, Alicia Heyward, and I am the writer and producer of Reality Chek. And I am so happy to have with me one of the actresses from the new episode called Mr. Right. Her name is Miss Chantal Yawson. Please give me a warm welcome. Well, help me in welcoming Miss Chantal Yawson.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi, how are you, Chantal?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, it's great to have you here. I'm so excited to sit down and talk with you. You know, we do a pre-show where we sit and we like to talk and interview the talent, find out what your thoughts are about the episode, maybe a little bit about your background and things like that. So let's get started. Now, you're a college student,
Yes.
I know. I think you said you were a senior?
Yes, I am. I'm a senior in college.
Okay.
It blew by fast. I did 3.5 years instead of 4, so that's like a major accomplishment for me. So next semester is my last semester.
Oh, fantastic. Now, wait a minute. You have to tell the folks what school you go to.
So I go to the College of Brockport. The College of Brockport, it's 6 hours away from New York City. So
Wow.
it's quite a bit away from home, but I've been able to make it a home away from home with my community. So.
And I know you come home like every weekend because we have rehearsals. And
Yeah, been coming home every other weekend for Reality Chek, so that's been pretty fun as well. But yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I'm excited to talk to you. We're really interested in you in what you do because I understand you're also a theater major.
Yes.
Okay, you have a double major.
Yes. I'm a theater major and a broadcast journalism double major. So,
Oh, fantastic.
as of right now, I'm done with all my journalism credits. So I just got a couple of theater credits left, and then that's really it.
Okay, so what are your plans like after you graduate?
So after I graduate, I'm looking to possibly go to grad school for acting, but I'm very flexible. I'm open to a lot of options because I did a double major, so I don't want to hold myself, back and just only be stuck into acting. But also things as far as journalism as well. Journalism is boosting, so there's so many avenues now for journalists. So blogs.
I think you're a great role model for young people.
Oh, thank you so much.
Do you have any schools in mind?
Well, yeah, the biggest school that I'm looking at is Case Western, the reserves program.
Okay,
yeah, so
fantastic.
my eyes are like glued on there.
Oh, that's
but
fantastic.
Of course, there's also a school in Illinois that I'm looking at. One of my professors is also talking to me about that as well.
Okay, oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So maybe you could fill us in on some of the shows that you've done, what you might be doing now.
So I've been doing some extra work. Every actor knows the deal with extra work. I've been doing a lot of extra work. But in school, I do theater. So at school, I also got a role for this movie. The writer of the movie, he put up the ad in our school's tower. That's where we have our. That's where we have
the school
our
newspaper. Or?
Oh no, that's where we have our. We do all of our theatrical things. That's the building for fine arts.
Okay.
So I saw that ad and I was like, okay, let me respond to this ad. I responded to it and I was actually the nun. I got a role as a nun. So that was pretty fun.
Wow.
We had 2 solid days of filming. So
Okay.
I was a nun in a movie called Impressionable Men. So
Wow.
I'm waiting for
Impressionable Men?
Yes,
What's that
Impressionable
about?
Men. So it's about these 2 guys who are friends and they decide to rob a bank. It is super funny because when they go into rob a bank, they come in with this accent and this fake whole impression, and they realize that the vault has a 24-hour wait time.
What?
So they have to wait until the following morning, and I'm one of the hostages that's in the bank.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so I'm a nun, of course, and I don't speak much, but when I do speak, I'm all like, God will forgive them for their sins and things like that. So it's very funny.
That sounds
it's very
awesome.
Funny. Yeah.
That sounds like it's really funny too.
Yes,
So
it's
wait a
very
minute.
funny.
Who is the writer? Who wrote this?
His name is Ron Farah.
Okay.
So yeah, he's a Rochester native. So
okay.
he wrote that, and
This is the first time you've worked on any of his.
yeah, this is the first time I worked. It was I got the role solely based off the ad that he put up in our school.
Okay.
So
That's fantastic. And wait a minute, you told me that you were actually doing 2 shows.
yeah. Well, this semester I'm working on a production for the theater side of things. It's called Prelude to a Kiss, and I am Miss Boyle.
Okay.
So yes, that's what I'm working on right now. Our opening night is coming up in like next week or so.
Okay,
yeah, the pressure for that is really on.
You're really busy.
And then the following next semester, I'm also going to be directing. So I'm directing one of the 10-minute plays that our school is going to be doing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, 10-minute plays?
Yep.
Okay,
10-minute
you gotta
plays.
tell me a
We
little
call
bit
it
more
Festival
about
of
that.
10.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm directing one of the 10 plays.
Oh, that's
and then I'm
awesome.
also hoping to also be in one of them as well. So,
So you have your eye on directing for the theater as well?
Yeah. Well, I took a theater directing class. I think 2 semesters ago. So, one of my professors kind of nudged me in. The head of the department was like, "Oh, who would you think would be a good
So
student?"
maybe you have a
and
knack
he
for
recommended me.
directing.
I hope so.
I'll keep that in mind. We do any plays. Now that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You're really busy, young lady. But I'm just really happy that you're with us here at Reality Chek.
Yeah.
And that you're a part of this episode. And I hope that you'll be a part of many more episodes.
Yes.
And we're going to take a little break right now, and we'll come back with Miss Chantal Yawson.
Just waking up and going to school and learning, it makes me feel good as a person. I'm a single mother, and I got pregnant, and I was the main one working, so I did what I had to do to survive. I never thought that I could go back to school and get it, My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
You're winning today.
We're so very proud of you and love you so much. Yeah, it's hard, but don't be afraid. Keep on going and keep on trying. You can do anything you want.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. I'm Alicia Heyward, your host of Reality Chek's pre-show. And let's welcome again Miss Chantal Yawson, who is a current actress on our ensuing episode. It's called Mr. Right. And take it away, Chantal. Well, actually, what I'd like to ask you is, where did you and when did you first discover you had a desire to become an actress?
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is going to take me like way back. So growing up, my parents, they're Ghanaian immigrants. Okay. So my parents are from Ghana. I'm Ghanaian American, and I was born here. So growing up, I was that kid that just always created scenarios. Like I'd come in, give my mom a lie, tell her something happened, start crying, and she'd be so confused because she'd be like, "What happened? Are you okay?" And then I started laughing until like, "Oh, Ma, you really thought I was crying? Like how? Like why would you think that?" And she'd be like, "What is wrong with you?"
Actress.
Right. So like growing up, I was always like, "Oh, I want to be an actress. I want to be an actress." And my parents' background, to them, acting is not like, it's not a thing you do for a living. It's a thing you do for, a hobby. So growing up, I'd be like, "Oh, Mom, I want to be an actress." She's like, "Oh, there are no such thing as actors. You only have to be a doctor." So like, So growing up, the secondary thing was to be an actor, and then the first primary thing was to be a doctor, and then, but of course, as I was growing up, I realized, maybe I don't want to be a doctor, and then my mom was like, well, what about journalism? So journalism, my mom actually pitched journalism to me, and I was like, actually, I think I like that. So that's when I went into college for that. But now my parents are like, they see the passion that I have for acting and for journalism as well. And for them, they're like, as long as you love it, we're going to support you. So that whole thing of, there's no such thing as a doctor, or there's no such thing as an actor. Like now they're all like, no, go for it. If like my baby loves it, we love it too. So they're super supportive. That's awesome. Yeah. You have that support. It makes it all the more better. Sometimes other people outside of our family circle, they're a little confused because, especially being that where we come from, certain things they're looking for lucrative jobs, sort of standard and set jobs that, and so for them, sometimes people outside of our family, sometimes people outside of our family, they don't understand, and we seem like weirdos to them, but inside of our family, we know the passion that we have as well. So sometimes,
and I see your passion. I mean, even like in rehearsal. I mean, the way that you guys. I mean, the way you get into it. I mean, you're on the floor, you're rolling around, and I mean, I said, man. I mean, they're really into it. I love the way that you dig into the character. The past, the present. And I just love the way you do that. I love your enthusiasm and your passion. You definitely have a passion.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to be working with you.
I'm more
such
than
an asset.
You're such an asset.
You too. Yeah. I really love your passion. It's fantastic. So is there anything else you might want to tell us? Where'd you study? Like besides college? I mean, I know you must study privately.
So when I went to high school actually in Ghana. My parents thought that it would be a wonderful experience for my sister and I. So they were like, okay, like after I graduated from junior high school, 8th grade, and my sister had just graduated from 5th grade, it was like a perfect transition. Everything worked out well. So awesome. My sister and I both, we went to high school. I went to high school in Ghana, and she went to junior high school in Ghana, and it was wonderful. We loved like every single second of it. And sometimes like I'm sitting here and I'm just like, winter's coming, I want to get out of here.
Were the schools different in Ghana? I mean, was it different going to school there versus
yes and no. One thing, I get that question a lot, and I always tell people that high school is high school everywhere you go. You have the mean chicks, you have
the mean girls.
Yeah, you have the mean girls, you have the middle girls that no one recognizes, you have like the the nerds, like you have all
Which one were you?
I mean, I feel like people tried to always put a mean girl title on me, but
really?
I wasn't. Exactly, right?
No, they're crazy.
I wasn't.
Way.
And people like would spread rumors about me in school that like, oh, she's mean and she's full of herself and stuff like that. And then people would like get to know me and they're like, oh, like it's so not true. Like,
so sweet. I mean, you're awesome.
So, I mean, people tried to brand me that way, but
you are fantastic. So do you want? Is there like an area in acting that you want to really concentrate on? I mean, do you like drama more? You like comedy? Or?
I love drama because I'm there for raw emotion. I feel like raw emotion is something that connects people. Like comedy connects people all the time because you get to laugh, of course.
Right. And the timing.
But I feel like there's something in drama, there's something in raw emotion, there's something in being able to really connect to your inner feelings, inner thoughts that sometimes we don't always get to do that. And when you watch someone who can deliver raw emotion in the rawest and purest form, I feel like that, like you can't get that all the time.
And so. I know that I remember during the audition you told me that you also do some writing.
Yes, yes, I do some writing. I am so I'm trying to come up with. Well, it's funny because I just talked about how I love raw emotion, but I'm trying to come up with sort of like a series that is a mixture of
a series.
It's sort of like a mixture of somewhat my life with certain things, but basically it's about a girl who is a Ghanaian American girl who's never traveled to Ghana before. And so she graduates from college and she's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to Ghana. And her parents have settled back in Ghana and they are doing like a startup company. So she's super optimistic, she has her head like straight on and she goes for everything she wants, but she forgets that, you know, optimism is great, but there's also like there's realism, like, you know, things have to happen in a realistic fashion. And so she always has she has some bumps along the road with
wait a minute, is this a play or would
no,
it be like a screenplay?
I want it to be like a screenplay. I'm still in the process of writing it.
Okay.
So
writing is
I know.
Writing is challenging.
Very challenging being with school and everything. So I'm
especially when you're juggling a bunch of a lot of stuff. It's challenging. You have to find that quiet time.
Exactly.
Solitude.
Exactly. And sometimes when I do get that quiet time, I'm like, I just want
to sleep. And they say well, they say that women need solitude in order to write. I know I do.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know,
sometimes when I get it, I just want to sleep. I don't want to worry about anything. But
but in order to write, you know, you have to sit down. You know, the desire. You know, if the desire, if you don't actually do it, and if you have the desire, if you don't do it, then sometimes I guess the desire is not to do it. So we're going to come back. We're going to take a little break, and we will come back. But first, before we take a break, I want to ask you. I want to talk about what made you want to audition for the part in this episode of Mr. Right? You know,
wow.
Where, you know, the two aliens, because, you know, I know that it was challenging. I know it's different, you know, because the language is different.
Right.
So when we come back from break, I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yes.
You know, okay?
Okay,
so we'll be right back in a minute. We're here with Miss Chantal Yawson, and we'll be right back.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
It's been so amazing to be able to give our child the life that we kind of pictured us having, even though we didn't really have that.
I've been in foster care my whole life.
He's so strong to just be able to like leave that all behind and still be able to take care of his daughter and be a good husband.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone.
We've been through so much in our life, and he never used that as an excuse, but as motivation to do better.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hello, we're back with Miss Chantal Yawson. I'm your host again, Alicia Heyward of Reality Chek TV. And we want to talk to Chantal a little bit more about why she auditioned for, well, what made her audition for Mr. Right.
Right.
I mean, I can't remember exactly what I put in the ad, but I know I was somewhat vague because of the language, and I didn't want to scare actors away. I was a little afraid, but I know that I had to put something in there, but I know that I was vague. But what made you want to audition for something like this?
So actually, it was a direct email. The site where I get all of my acting gigs and stuff backstage. You had sent me a direct email saying, hello, this is who I am, and I am looking to possibly cast you for a show, the lead in a show. And I was just like, what? And it was for me, it was very weird because I had just changed my headshot photo on there. So the moment I switched my headshot, it wasn't even 2 minutes later. And you sent me this email, and I was like, oh, these headshots must be making magic happen.
That's funny.
These headshots are making magic happen. So I was like, I was jumping around the house. I was like, Mom, look at what I got. But yeah, and then I was like, I remember you called on the phone for a follow-up, and when I heard your melodic voice, I was like,
Melodic.
this woman sounds so elegant, and I just followed up from there. I was watching all the reality check videos on YouTube. I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to work with you. And so when you said we should meet up and read the script over, I was just like, the language is always different. There's a billion languages. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh.
And the fact that they're bird-like creatures.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like that it's all the more exotic. It's all the more different. It's things that people don't see every day. I was down for it. I was like, hey.
How do you approach? I mean, I know what we go through in rehearsal. I know it's difficult for us to even get through a full script sometimes, even within that 2 hour to 3 hour rehearsal period, which we usually book. But how do you approach like getting at the meat and potatoes of the character, especially because these characters are bird-like creatures and they repeat. The language is all like repeat. How do you do that?
I feel like the most homework for Reality Check was really just sitting down and thinking about what made these characters crash, why they're in the position that they're in, sort of what my role contains, being that I am the captain of the ship and
captain
everything.
Of the Enterprise.
Yes. So and a lot of it, and when you also provided for us the sort of like the translation, what would be, that also really helped to
I added
the icing
the
on the cake. Yes, the subtitles.
Thought that, and the reason I did that was because I know if I look at it from an actor's perspective, some of it would be somewhat difficult, and I thought that adding the subtitles would actually add more clarity.
Right.
And make it a little lighter, not so heavy.
Yes. And prior to that, even like I had already sort of come up with my own, but having it from you, being that you are the writer of it, it really added the icing on the cake. So just getting into characters, it's interesting because I always have to know sort of what step I'm going into, and so it's a fun process for me though. Because
me too.
Some people try to say that like, oh, you're pretending to be something you're not.
No.
Acting is not pretending.
Actually, no.
Never,
Thank you.
ever.
Thank you.
It's never pretending. It's being able to be in tune
And
with.
if you don't believe it, then none of us
Exactly.
will believe it. The audience won't believe it, so you have to believe it first.
So
it has to be real for you.
Right. So it just the ability to be able to be in tune with this character that's on another planet, that is experiencing and feeling all of these different emotions, is for me it's fun, and I don't think of it as a job, but I think of it as sort of like a duty to the script and a duty to you, being that I'm working with you. So
that's wonderful. Well, I love what you do, and what I really loved about you and Noah was Noah is the other actress. She's playing actually Chantal's crew member. And what I loved about the two of you was the way that your thought process. Because as a writer, I didn't want to stifle you. I didn't want everything to be so cut and dry. I wanted you to be able to look at it and make some of the decisions for yourself. Because I thought it being a little more impromptu, spontaneous, I thought that would add a little more realism and a little more comedy.
Right.
Definitely. So I love that about you.
Thank you.
No, I really like that. So tell me something else that you like about the characters.
Well, well, for one, I'm not trying to give it away, but the costuming, I love the costuming because it's very colorful, and I think it's very representative of the fact that we are bird-like creatures and that we have different dimensions to ourselves, and a lot of it is very interwoven in the sense of what you physically see and sort of the background of the world as well, being that the costuming.
And the world is very colorful, and that's another reason why we thought the feathers would work.
Exactly. Being able to play with feathers and everything. But like, I love the fact that with this process, I've also been able to do a lot of other things, such as like recording a demo with Damon, which is wonderful. Exactly. So I feel like I've been made into like a singer, which I never thought that'd be me. But that was really fun too. Yeah. But just the whole process from the beginning, like up until now, the whole process has been really fun. Being able to because I remember the first time we had our first rehearsal. Noah and I were like, after that, Noah and I went to Chipotle and we're like, we're gonna sit over and read the script over, and I was like,
I knew you guys were doing that. When David and I started walking down towards 59th Street, I said, I bet they're going to sit down and read through the script.
Yes,
I knew it.
We read it over a couple times, and so the whole time I was just like, I have to be honest with you, the way you commanded the words, and she was like, girl, stop it. I didn't know what I was doing either. I was following you. I was following you. It was just so wonderful to be able to like learn about each other's characters in that space, being that we just had rehearsal and then we're sitting down talking, eating lunch, and then we're getting to learn about our characters from there as well. So that was really fun and really cool too.
I'm so glad. I'm just really happy that you like it.
Yeah.
And that's because when you write something, I mean you have to satisfy yourself first, and then you worry about satisfying everybody else later. And writing is all about personal taste.
Definitely.
So I just I'd love it if you would tell our audience where we could see some of your other work, maybe where you're doing your other plays up at college.
Wow. So when it comes to other work, that is so in Ghana I also did a TV show called High School Click, and High School Click is about a bunch of high schools and high school students. It's all about entertainment for high school students. And so I have some of my work on there as well for, so it's High School Click TV on YouTube. My social media account is also available.
What's that?
I'm very active on Instagram. So that is _THE_CY. So the CY, some people try to think it's the Psy, but no, it's the CY for my initials. So I'm very active on Instagram as well. I'm trying to be active on Twitter. Working at it as much as I would like for it to. But so for the most part, Instagram and YouTube. And my sister and I also have a YouTube channel. So we are trying to produce content because we think we're some pretty funny girls. So my sister Sheldon and I, we have a YouTube channel as well called Just the Bros. If you go to my Instagram account, there's a direct link to our YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, and you can check out all of the episodes on YouTube at Reality Chek TV, and on Instagram we're at Reality Chek Television. And you can also check us out on Facebook. It's Reality Chek. And we're here with Miss Chantal Yawson. She plays the captain of the ship who is stranded on the Red Planet. I'm your host, Alicia Heyward. It's been a pleasure. It has been so wonderful talking to you, sitting and talking to you. I can't wait to get back in rehearsal.
Yes.
And I can't wait to just let everybody see the fantastic work that you've done.
Yes.
So we're going to come back with another episode where we're going to sit down and talk with Miss Notelja Waldrop. She plays the crew member on Reality Chek's Mr. Right. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Reality Chek.